That was not a fun time. That was not a fun time at all. Pippa was bullied and not the bully. For the most part, Pippa did some bullying in her youth. It went both ways. Pippa did some bullying at some points. Pippa was the bullied at some points. Pippa... Ow! Pippa was both at some points. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god. Pippa was always... Pippa was always so innocent and so kind. Like now I like the friendly boy, you know. But there was a point. Where I was really angry. And I didn't know what to do with all that anger. And I ended up taking it out on others. Ow! And if you're one of those people, I want you to know you can change, okay? I feel like you should be able to tell when you're hurting somebody. And if you know you're hurting somebody, I think you should make the active effort to change, you know? I think you should make the active effort to try and be a better person. Because it's not good for the other person, and it's not good for you either. You can change. You can be a better person. And it's hard, and you don't want to at first. At first, it's like, well... Life... You have to take Kuda stop. No, I'm giving words of advice here. I'm giving words of wisdom, okay? Listen. I don't think it's wrong to admit that you weren't a good person at one point in your life, you know? I don't think that's wrong. Because what matters is what you're doing now, not who you used to be. So if you're hurting other people, or you're hurting yourself, you're speaking poorly about yourself, you're being mean, not just to others, but to yourself. You can improve. You can improve, and there's a lot of things you can do, okay? But it starts with recognizing that there's a problem. And then from there, that's when you have to decide, okay, what am I gonna do about this? If you're hurting yourself, if you're being mean to yourself, there are things, so every morning, if you're being mean to yourself, if you're saying mean things to yourself, I want you, Pippa has a personal project for you. Pippa has a personal project for you. Every morning, oh, I left the door open. Every morning, Pippa wants you to look in the mirror and to stand as tall as you can. Not on your tippy toes, but like stand straight, okay? Put your shoulders back, stand straight, arch your back, put your hands on your hips, and look in the mirror and say, I'm a good person. I can do better today than I did yesterday. I am handsome or beautiful. I am confident. And listen, they're all gonna be lies at first, alright? Because you don't feel that way. You don't feel like, oh, well, I know I'm not handsome. I know I'm not beautiful. I know I'm not confident. But listen, just do it, okay? Because there's science behind this. There's science behind this. You're tricking yourself into being motivated. You're tricking yourself into believing things. And that's all that really is, you know? You can say, well, if I'm tricking myself, then that means it's not true. But is it ever really true? If you're tricking yourself into being happy, then aren't you just happy? So let's work towards being better people together, okay? Oh, one more thing. If you're hurting others, you know you're hurting others, okay? You know it. There's that little twinge of guilt inside you. And I want you to hone in on that. And I want you to I want you to try and find the root of why it is you're doing what you're doing. Okay? That's all I ask. For right now, just try and figure out, why am I doing this? Because it can be kind of hard at first, you know? Especially when you're in a less than like ideal living situation. Maybe you don't realize it. But I want you to identify the source of the problem first, and then you can work from there. It's all about asking yourself why you're doing these things, you know? Pippa is not a licensed therapist, so Pippa is also not a licensed counselor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Listen, I'm just a person too, okay? You are dumb, yes. But we're all dumb, you know? We're all just people. We're all just people. And sometimes... Listen, that's the same thing with going like on YouTube videos and stuff and spamming "you are dumb." I want you to actually sit there and analyze why it is you do what you do. Because you might say, well, it's fun, it's for the lulz. But why is it fun? Why is it fun for you to try to hurt other people? And I want you guys, I'm sorry, I'm being so serious here, I'll stop after this. But I want you guys to consider, you know, like, if somebody's being mean to me online, I want you to consider why it is they're doing that, you know? Because sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes people just don't know how to articulate how they feel in a nice manner. But sometimes people are also being affected by exterior things, and they don't know how to handle their emotions. They don't know what to do with all these emotions. So they take them out on others, and they want others to feel as bad as they're feeling. And it's not necessarily malicious, it's just desperate. That sounds mean, but... but... yeah. So try to have some... I know it can be hard, but try to have some empathy even for those that are being mean to you, you know? Try to understand where they're coming from. Is it bad that me and my friends bully each other? Well, if you're just doing it just like... if you're just joshing each other, you know? If it's just banter, then no. But if you're ever bantering with somebody and you say something and you actually mean it, but they don't think that you mean it, but you know that you mean it, you know what I'm saying? I want you to evaluate why you would want to say something that could potentially hurt them in a mean way like that. You know? Why do you want to be underhanded about your feelings? But of course, you also know your friends better than anybody. And not every situation always applies, so... I like to think of us as friends. But it's a certain kind of friendship. You can't crash on Pippa's couch. You can't crash on Pippa's couch. But I think we're a type of friend, you know? We can play games together. Maybe. It depends on how much like time there is. It depends on how many slots there are. But that's why you should be careful about considering like influencers and stuff your friend. Because there's only so much one person can do. And there's gonna be a lot of people who wanna consider them as friends. So just be careful, okay? Just be careful. That is Pippa's life advice for today.